Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Hey, good evening and welcome to the MooCamp Radio Show. Let's start the show by saying 3-1. That may be mentioned a number of times throughout the course of the evening, but 3-1. 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. 3-1, 3-1. Okay, welcome to the MooCamp Radio Show on Seclo Sounds. That was a squeaky sound.
That was a lovely noise.
Yeah, lovely noise. Welcome to the MooCamp Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds. The show that was described by Kingston striker Adeboye Akinfenwa as being the tastiest thing that he's heard since he stood listening intently to the sound of this morning's breakfast burgers sizzling in the pan. Thanks very much for that, Adeboye. And it's good to know that we're reaching out to those less fortunate than ourselves, and you really, really are less fortunate. Now, I was going to kick off the show by saying that this is the Osmonds, but I don't seem to have the track. So for those of you who know me, I'm forced to say that let's kick off the show by saying that this is Tubeway Army.
Flow my tears, the new police song. The slogan of peace is you must live. They've got me and I'm one of them. Cancel silence, they screamed for days. We've been here before, we won't stay. They can die, they can just turn off. Some people moves in circles, some people need the heroes, but I don't mind, I don't mind. Please listen to the sirens, we don't wish to be your friends. Please listen to the sirens, we won't never call again. Mr. Webb, there is no way out. Love this room, please don't fight your walls. Can you see I'm wasting your time? The street cars rusting unseen, music was empty like me, but I don't care. I don't care. Please listen to the sirens, we don't wish to be your friends. Please listen to the sirens, we won't ever call again. If I could stay here for now with someone just a bit like you, oh no. Maybe I would dream again of someone just a bit like you, I suppose so. Station boys keep their hands on steel. 2 bright days now seem quite unreal. It's always so close but never quite arrives. My vision's like an old film, shaky. There's nothing through my window. Oh my, I've had them on my bedside. Black, white, no image in my mirror. My.
Good evening. What a joy it is to say 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. What a joy it is also to listen to the first track of the first album that Mr. Gary Newman ever appeared on. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's an exciting moment for us all. Right, I probably need to say hello properly. Welcome to issue 2 of the increasingly difficult second season of the MooCamp Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds. The only MK Dons radio show worth listening to, primarily because it's the only MK Dons radio show. If you know otherwise, let us know. I'm Brando, the man who this week was described by none other than Kingston striker Adi Akinfenwa as being his idea of physical perfection. Hi. I'm immensely fortunate to have with me the man who in the last week has managed to fit in a wedding anniversary, a birthday, a huge amount of geocaching, whatever that may be, and 2 football matches without managing to slice off any parts of his body, whether intentionally or otherwise. That's really quite remarkable. So say hi, Mr. Modders.
Good evening, everyone.
I'm also joined by the man who brings all the trappings of youth into the studio with him. That means, of course, he's always right. He's keen to pick arguments with absolutely anyone and has no concept of English grammar or pronunciation. So say hi, young Albie.
And I...
A glorious team, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, just as the few hundred Kingston fans being shepherded towards the train station by mounted police wanted to hear Mrs. Brando shouting, "Thanks for your money," out of the window at them, what you think is important to us. So, Modders, can you please tell people, can you tell the boys and girls how they can get in touch?
I can indeed. You can contact the show by counting to 2 in one way, then count to 4 in the opposite direction. By hoping the season ticket you've paid good money up front for would actually work the first time at the turnstiles. Or alternatively, you can use one of the more conventional methods. You can contact us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet us, and we'll be using the hashtag #TheMooCamp during the show. You can email us at radio@moocamp.com. You can text 80085, but remember to start your message with, "What was the score at half-time?" or else it won't reach us. Or you can text direct to the studio on 07 848 930 396.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Now listen, we have to start off with, I think there's a lack of clarity here. We don't know. Let me just see if I can find some vaguely related sound effect. That sounds more like death and doom, doesn't it? No, that's not it. We don't want that one. Anyway, can you imagine a clock ticking? Can anyone impersonate a clock ticking? Or a horse walking? Thank you. That's good. Now listen, the Armitage Shanks Memorial Clock. Obviously, I don't know what it's standing at the moment, but it's been some time since it was reset. And we don't know yet whether it needs to be reset after last night's visit.
We're awaiting confirmation, aren't we?
We are. Can you update, Modders, in terms of anything that's happened?
The last I heard was from a member of our stewarding staff last evening who reliably informed me that 2 of our toilets were missing. I know that sounds a bit like a war report, as somebody pointed out earlier on, but in the exact words, 2 are missing.
2? So toilets are actually missing?
Actually missing, yeah. Now, how they manage that, I've no idea. But
see, that means we need another clock. I mean, it kind of... I'm guessing...
So we could leave the one running, and then we could do the porcelain removal clock or something like that.
Inspector Dalton. Yeah, it's... I guess the question... I mean, there's 2 questions. Obviously, where are our toilets?
Yeah. We want them back.
We want our toilets back. But also, did the lack of
police
toilets...
are looking into it, but they've got nothing to go on.
There you go. That's the speaker's gun. Did the lack of toilets force a reset of the clock?
Possibly.
And, I don't know... Do you know who actually got the photos out last time? Because they were out pretty quickly.
I've no idea who it was.
You've no idea who it was?
No idea who it was.
Okay, fair enough. We'll discuss how little idea you have later on. Okay. Well, I guess all we're saying at the moment is we don't know. If anyone out there knows, if anyone out there would like to make something up about this, then please let us know. We'll update you in contact details again in a minute anyway. But yeah, just sort of let us know anything that might give us a hint as to how we could find out whether anyone did actually force us to reset the clock. Okay. Yeah, that's that. All right. Now it's time for a regular feature here, and I'm excited about it.
It's so regular that we still haven't done any music for it.
We still haven't done any music for it. It's true, but I'm going to have some backing. There we go. I have no idea why, but if we can actually no, there must be something that's better now, that more suited.
It does not matter about preparation. Just 3-1.
Actually, yeah, 3-1. Did you say 3-1? I think I've got music that actually suits our the subject of this next piece rather well. In the real world, not how he would like everyone to think he is, but I think this is pretty close.
Right, so welcome to Lieutenant Dan's Excuse of the Week. and obviously formerly of this parish, and he has contacted the show detailing one of his many excuses for leaving the show. But his first one being, I was ashamed at being upstaged by none other than young Albie on his brilliant, nay fantastic pronunciation skills. We'll bring you more on this as a syllabification, enunciation, cadence, and orthography has been aligned.
Not bad. Not bad.
That's pretty good, actually.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Clues in the name, young Albie.
Okay, brilliant one. All right, thanks very much for that. It must be time to do this then.
This just in. In a shock revelation today, a packed Stadium MK press conference was told that, as yet, an unspecified number of Kingston fans had this week spontaneously exploded in their own hovels. It appears that the mental calculations required to determine whether it was a more hypocritical event to attend or boycott yesterday's match had tipped many of them over the edge. The decision was made even more complicated once they'd factored in whether they'd attended or boycotted the previous meeting between the two clubs, and it simply proved far too much for most of them.
That was a bit early, sorry, Karen.
More on this once we've had a full cuckoo count.
I wonder if you took... Yeah, I'll say that right, because I've said that wrong a few times. It's all very... It's a little uncomfortable. Okay, right, it must be time.
It's time for the question of the week.
Okay, now just to show we keep our promises. We had a question submitted to us during last week's show, and we were just having too much fun that we missed it.
Sorry.
So we thought we'd make it this week's question of the week. So this came from Robbo the Don 11, and his question was simply, what single piece of Don's activity in pre-season made you question your sanity for a moment and give yourself a pinch? Now, we've had a few in during the week. We've also got some coming in on Facebook and Twitter at the moment. So first thing, Carl from MK1 said, when Pete said yes to me spending some money. Pete from MK1 said, when I said yes to Robbo spending some money. Tony from MK1 said, when Sondico said I'd get to touch the new kit first. We have to discuss the team photo at some point later on. Dear Tony, dear Tony.
Both of them.
Mick from Emerson Valley says, when I saw that bloody yellow kit. Joe from Emerson Valley said, when I realised my husband was planning to leave me on my birthday to go and present a radio show. I'd like to say sorry and please stop texting and abusing me for it. I will be home soon. We also have David Saunders on Facebook has said, going through an academic diary, handwriting his shift pattern and Don's fixtures so he knows which he can make, which was 80 minutes well spent, which is a remarkably sensible post, so thanks very much.
Far too sensible.
Have we got any others from anywhere else at the moment? Don't think we have. Let me just check Twitter. Anyway, right, okay, while that's doing that, let me just do something like this for a moment.
Listen to the Sticks Radio Show with me, Terry Sullivan, here on Seclo Sounds every Monday from 10 a.m. with guests from the world of entertainment and sport across hearts, beds and bugs. The Sticks Radio Show online at seclosounds.org.
Three one.
Roundabout of the week. It's the MooCamp, it's the MooCamp Roundabout of the week.
Okay, as you know, each week on the MooCamp Radio Show, I go out to see what's happening at one of the 3,426 roundabouts in Milton Keynes, and I pick one completely at random to describe to you in all its splendour. Now, this week we have a real treat for you. Following months of not bothering with it, and then this very week reviving the feature using the exact roundabout described on the MooCamp Radio Show last Wednesday, we've decided we're not going to aid our unscrupulous competitors anyway at all, so this week I shall be describing this week's roundabout using the medium of telepathy.
So you're not going to do the last line. So I'm lined up, ready to press it after you do the so where exactly is.
So where exactly is? I had to describe it.
Oh, you beautiful people, every one of you. Young Albie, sir, would you care to please tell us what's happening in the world?
I will
on the
indeed.
text and tweety things.
I've just received a text from Danny in Kingston, who was texted in to say, "Ha! Scored against you again." Well done. Shalene from Loughton has tweeted in to say that she's happy, excited and really looking forward to the new series of Tumble, #Bendy. I think you may have had the wrong handle, but thanks anyway, Shalene. Simon from London has tweeted in to say that he's a man of principle and sticks by everything that he's said before, #feeling left out. Kevin from Bath has texted in to say that if anyone's had it in a bag last night, it's got all his best pencils and a book of his favourite flowers, and he's a little lost without it. And finally, Ken from Gillingham has texted in to say that he rather enjoyed the first half, but was less enamoured by the second. Sorry, that bit caught me off by surprise.
Excellent, thanks. Okay, shall we talk about football? Now look, we're going to keep the boys and girls waiting to talk about 3-1. I mean, we might mention it a few times along the way, 3-1. But between now and then, let's have just a little chat, because we had a game on Saturday, first game of the season. Let me just put something going on in the background quietly.
4-2.
Yes, 4-2, which was quite a result, to be honest. Tell me about it.
Yep.
Just quick, hands. And hey, it's been ages since we've done that. Yeah, okay, what do we think?
All-round good game of football. If you're coming as a neutral to watch a game of football on the opening day, I think that would tempt you to keep coming back. And I thought it was a very good game of football. First half, as we know, was a bit rubbish, but second half was fantastic, wasn't it?
Did I tell you it was my birthday on Saturday as well?
You may not have mentioned it that many times, so thank you for raising that.
I may have mentioned it a few too many times while I was there, because I may have been rather drunk.
I didn't actually see you on Saturday or yesterday.
I didn't see you either, funnily enough.
That's fair enough, yeah. Okay, I mean, I think I said last week, I adore the bit before the first match of the season, because it's the bit where anything is possible.
Expectations high.
And I must say...
You said the half-time...
Yeah, it was that thing. We turn around, the guys sit behind me, we just turn around and go, we're relaxed now. Yeah. Once we were 2-0 down, it was like, okay, we know, nothing's happening, it's not our season, we can just switch off and just relax. And 2-0 down, it's like everything happened.
And then they ruined it.
Then they ruined it by getting a goal back just before half-time. I mean, it was like, not that we could score it ourselves, but so they go to the trouble of scoring us a goal, and it's like, oh, perhaps it is our season after all. But I thought the second half was one of the most entertaining halves of football I've seen in ages. Brilliant.
No, it was indeed. Especially after a first half that seemed so bad. I was saying to a friend of mine that I couldn't see us scoring, and we only go and put four in, which,
we only scored 2 of them, to be fair.
Well.
And the 2 we scored were both debut goals, weren't we?
They were, yes. And both from corners.
Yeah.
I read it. There's a great book. It's called something like Football Statistics or something like that. My brother-in-law got it for my birthday. Cheers, Rob. It's really interesting, and it essentially says everything you know about football's wrong. And there are businesses now who do nothing other than collate football stats and sell it to the telly and to the clubs and everything like that. And they're essentially looking at everything that people do, and that they track everything that goes on. And one of the things they turned around and said is, corners are rubbish. Corners are worth nothing. Jose Mourinho apparently turns around and says, only the English get excited by corners. No one else does. But nothing ever happens from a corner. And I was proudly proclaiming this. We're on pretty safe ground with us, because we never score from corners. No. And then we scored 3 goals from corners. And then carried it on yesterday. It was just one that came from a corner yesterday.
Just the one.
Just the one. So that's 4 goals in 2 games from corners.
We're lucky though, but we've got now got 2 players that can actually deliver a corner.
Yeah.
It's something we've never had before, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And with variation as well.
Yeah.
The first one to the front post, the next one, in the middle.
Who's the other one? Danny Green
and Ben Reeves.
Oh, Ben, okay, yeah. Yeah, I just thought, I was excited about corners again, even though my mind was telling me it makes no difference, they're rubbish.
Mm.
Okay.
Nice.
So, have we got anything else we just want to talk about?
We get there, don't we?
No, I thought Will Grigg played very well. It was a fantastic header, I thought, Will Grigg. From not necessarily the sweet spot in terms of heading, you want to be closer to the 6-yard box, but he unmarked rose well for quite a small person and headed in a very accurate header, and I thought, in my personal opinion, that's the pick of the goals. So McFadson's was good as well. That was his first goal he scored for us, wasn't it? Has he scored again?
He may have scored another one since then, but I don't think that one was a header.
We'll talk about it later on.
I think we might get there later on, yeah.
But no, it was a good game, and if the game finished at half time, I would have been pretty much, as you said earlier, season's over, forget it. But by the end of the game, that was fantastic. We're going up. We're going to batter everybody, and I'm feeling fairly optimistic after that half of football. I've got to say, and there was a good point that was raised as well. Just to quickly make that, how many goals did we score after Christmas at home, last season, and then we go and score 4 in one half when we're 2-0 down? It's just remarkable how things change.
Yeah. The thing that got me was the way that the play was coming from everywhere. Yeah. Everyone just wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
And you honestly couldn't say where the next goal, or who the next goal scorer was going to be.
I wouldn't quite say we've got a long ball element in us, but you can certainly see we've got a more direct element in us. We're not trying to walk it into the back of the net as much, and if need be, we are putting it in the air a little bit and trying to bring it down, which I think is a bit refreshing. Obviously, we don't want to see too much of that, but if it gets us points, I'll happily take that.
Yeah. The thing that Bennick offers as well is the ability of pace to actually get onto those balls when they do come over the top.
Yeah. Interesting to see how Hitchcock settles as well. I was watching a Football League preview the night, it must have been Friday night, I think I watched it, on Sky. And it was their usual big sort of razzmatazz, let's talk about all the clubs that everyone likes and ignore us kind of thing. But it was... the thing that was telling, I mean, they showed the odds and we were sort of somewhere in the middle of, in terms of chances of getting promoted and chances of getting relegated. We were kind of mid-table. But then they got to the scorers and predicted top scorer. And we had 2 on the front page.
Really? Impressive.
You know, which was Grigg and Hitchcock. And we've never had anyone even remotely considered likely to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they're going by their pre-season, though, when we're playing sort of nothing teams.
Stony Stratford.
Yeah.
The mighty Stony Stratford.
With all due respect to the big following of Stony Stratford supporters.
Yeah, not knocking you at all if you're listening. Yeah. Okay, we probably need to move on a little bit, so bring us a little closer to talking about something else we'd rather talk about. So for now, let's just do this.
Hello, I'm Jim Cleland, and every Tuesday between 9am and 12pm on Secklow Sounds Radio, you can hear all things MK. We have local news, sport, weather, traffic and travel, and lots of music. I'll be talking to local people about fitness, health, what's going on in Milton Keynes, our diverse community, local businesses, and much more. Join me, Jim Cleland, for all things MK every Tuesday between 9am and 12pm on Secklow Sounds Radio.
Excellent. Sorry, we've got a Facebook post in, and I may have missed something at the start of this, but it's from Lisa that says, sorry to be serious, but if the bag point was real, a bag was left aisle 11, row CC, and we handed it to the stewards. The excitement of last night clearly too much for the owner. Is that a particular sort of bag? I don't know if we're talking... No idea what we're talking about here, but...
Did it contain crayons or toilets?
Yeah, does that count? Do we reset the clock if someone leaves a bag? Okay, there's a conversation I didn't expect to start. Okay, that means it must be time... Oh, no, I've done that bit, haven't I? Right. Can someone tell me what's coming up next, please?
I can. In the next phase of the show, we've got the Bovril Forecast and another in our series of incredible Tenuous Links. We'll take a look at Who Loves Winky, and we might spend a little bit of time talking about a match against a certain team from Kingston, which we won, by the way. I don't know if Mick's
What was the score? What was the score?
4-2, wasn't it?
4-2. I see what you did there.
Yeah, but that sounds very exciting, and let's move on swiftly so we can get to that piece of the section.
Oh, let's go through
of the show, sorry.
Ed, can you please let people know how they can get in touch with us, please?
I can. You can contact us by getting the opposing team to contact us on your behalf twice, or alternatively, you can contact us on Facebook at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet us. We'll be using the hashtag the MooCamp during the show. You can email us at radio@moocamp.com. Text 80085. Remember to start your message with what was the score at half time, or else it won't reach us. Or you can text direct to the studio on 07848 930 396.
Grand, thanks very much. I'm trying to type into Twitter at the same time as doing all of this. God, it's so clever. Okay, rumpty-dumpty-dumpty-dumpty-dum. This just in, Don's Chief Executive Andrew Cullen today defended the delays to the availability of this season's kits. Andrew explained to a heated audience of press and supporters groups that because the club hadn't mentioned anything about the lack of availability on the OS for some weeks, Nobody was actually aware that the shirts weren't available, so it wasn't a problem. Describing it as a textbook communication strategy, Andrew then berated those present for not wearing the new shirt to the press conference and walked out muttering under his breath. More on this once we've worked out how much less the shirt will be worth once it finally arrives. Okay, can someone tell me what's going on in Twitter world?
I can, it's going mad here at the moment. Kyle from MK1 has texted a message to Danny from Kingston that simply says, 4-2, fat boy. Simon from London has tweeted to say that he really enjoyed his visit last night. Club Reb was wonderful, and he got to shake Pete by the hand for the second time. Comfy seats.
Have we ever actually spoken about the first time he shook Pete by the hand?
No, don't think we have actually.
I may bring that up at some other point later on. Do remind me.
Susie from Leighton Buzzard has texted in to say that she thinks Carl McFadson's hair is even sexier than Mark Randall's. Dave from Kingston has texted in 3 words: spend, spoon, space. Thanks for that, Dave. Carl from MK1 has tweeted to say, I done it, it was me, I am great, I really am. Hashtag Robbo is great spelt wrong.
Fantastic.
And that's all I've got at the moment.
We've actually got there's another tweet out there from David. Just says, have the AFC pool loggers gone home yet? Not quite sure what a pool logger is. Do we know what a pool logger is? Am I allowed to ask what a pool logger is? Am I going to regret?
I think so at the moment.
Is it quite on the same level as Bushwhacker?
It's possible. We need a pool logger of the week from this point forward, don't we? Okay, grand. It must be time to build the tension for a moment with this.
Bovril Forecast. Bovril Forecast, forecast. 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 Bovril Forecast. Bovril Forecast, forecast.
We all know how difficult it is to plan ahead without accurate forecasting, so here at the MooCamp Radio Show, we're proud to support the Bovril Forecast, brought to you by the lovely people at Forecast, telling the future one cup at a time. The forecast for this week is cold, then warm, then hot, sizzling and way too hot to drink. Be very careful, burny tongue and stinging lip. I'm glad I said that right.
Excellent one. Okay, thanks ever so much. Right, this one's over to you, and albeit I've decided I don't like this anymore, so it's yours.
Fantastic. It's the first time that I've ever done loan targets, but we all know that Pete at Winky Winkleman likes nothing more than spending your season ticket money on food for himself and the staff at the club from Iceland frozen stores. It turns out that Robbo isn't as daft as we make him out to be on here, and he's found a way to turn that to his advantage. We've recently seen a list of loan targets. I'm going to read that in a minute very badly, and they're not going to come off at all as well as we hoped that they would in writing, that Robbo has lined up as possibilities using his agent, who goes by the name of I'm a Coldman. Some of those names are Patty Burger, Bro Collie Spears, Garlic Bread, Winter Springs, Neapolitan, Carlsberg, Miles Batter, Dozen Eggs, Semi-Simmed, Pete Roney, Pepperoni,
Pete Roney pizza, please.
Oh, Jesus. Minty Lamshank and Gordon Thukob. Winky seems more than happy to sign anything off as long as it's not for new players, so it might just work. More next than every week until we've run out of ideas, especially me. You'll probably see us change the description from rubbish food links to restaurants so we can mention how our well-known youngster Harv Esther. But probably not, as it's getting a little bit dull now. And I agree with that one.
Let's be honest, it was never a good idea in the first place.
Work,
and it's getting
week
worse
one,
and worse. This disproves the theory that if you keep doing something unfunny, it gets funny.
Yeah.
This one doesn't. Okay, grand. It must be. Let's have a go with this one then.
It's surprisingly strenuous, making links so tenuous.
So yes, it's time for Tenuous Links again, where we start with two seemingly unconnected people or things and then proceed to show by a series of progressively unrealistic and remarkably tenuous links just how they are indeed connected. This week we show you exactly how One Direction's masterpiece of hair and teenage angst, Harry Styles, and Don's spectacular winger, Danny Green, are indeed seamlessly entwined. Harry Styles is a member of a very highly overrated boy band. A band can mean a group of musicians or a binding implement made of rubber. A rubber is a best-of-3 competition in a game of bridge. A bridge on the ship is the elevated enclosed platform from which the captain and officers direct operations. An operation in a hospital can be carried out under a general anaesthetic. An anaesthetic is an intravenous injection that sends you to sleep. This section has gone on for far too long, and so it's probably doing the same to you. So, we've got Danny Green. I thank you. I can't remember where the applause is. That's actually more realistic, isn't it? Yeah. That's the one. Well, that was slick. Okay, I'm going to take a wild leap before we start talking about that thing we all want to talk about and do some other stuff. I'm going to do something else for a minute. I'm going to say to my dear, long-suffering Mrs. Brando, I'm going to say happy birthday and play her a song. This is the New Seekers.
I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. That's the song I hear the loudest sing to day. Oh yeah. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. That's the song I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony hand in hand. And I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. That's the song I'd like to see the world and the world all standing hand in hand and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. That's the song I'd like to teach it along. That's the one sing today. Oh yeah. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
Tom Scudamore is back
We're back on a new day with new features and new characters.
every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Seclo Sounds.
The best time of the day show is a show for young people, combining oddball personalities. We will be having headlines read by Harry, dealing with your problems in agony art, and talking philosophical matters.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Seclo Sounds.
Right, as you know, the Dons are the most popular club in the country, especially this week, and Peter Winky Winkleman is again
3-1.
not only the most popular chairman in the lower leagues this week, but he's possibly the most popular man in football of all time. But just how widespread is Winky's fame and who exactly loves Winky? We've done a little bit of research this week, and we can now say that Simon Pegg, Simon Bath, Bath Salts, Salts of the Earth, Earth, Wind and Fire, Hawkwind, Ethan Hawke, Ethan Zon, Ricardo Zon, Daniel Ricciardo, Daniel Craig's List, and everybody who's ever advertised in it, right back to its inception, will really, really love Winky. Unfortunately, there were 2 people that we failed to reach out to this week. Neil Ardley said that he had called us back 3 times, but he didn't. And renowned big screen actor Forrest Whitaker, who said, "Who exactly is Petey Winker Winkle?"
Peter Winky Winky Winky.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Okay. It's time. We had a match last night.
Did we?
We did. And it was a rather spectacular evening, if I may. I mean, let's be honest, we've all been saying it was just another match to us. But it wasn't.
It wasn't when it comes down to it, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a rather spectacular way to spend an evening. Who would care to start?
We won.
What was the score?
I'll
We
start
haven't
with the
mentioned it
obvious.
at all
No,
yet.
we've not said anything. No, we won 3-1.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Although I'm inclined not to really get too excited about beating a team who I thought were absolutely rubbish and in League 2. But, yeah, we won. And we're through to the
one-man
next
team, weren't they?
Yeah, well, if you count that one man.
You say one-man team. That was one hell of a man.
Well, yeah.
And we're through to the next round, which actually, I think the draw's around about now, is it not?
I think it's after the game.
Is it after the game?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't even know there was a game on tonight. That shows that we don't know anything about football here in Milton Keynes,
Clearly.
doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Plastic.
we won, and we were all over them, and there were various players who looked very, very good for us. And I think that just continues our good form.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to say something. I still can't believe any of them come. I still don't know how any of them turn around and go, you know where I'm going to go? 1,132. So I don't know whether that's better or worse than the 3,030 that came last time.
Is that a better boycott or a
is that better or
boycott?
worse?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
It must be noted that as the game wasn't all ticket, that none of those supporters supported AFC.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Not,
Or certainly not the ones who were beastly.
Definitely not. They were all Gillingham fans that couldn't get home the other day, and
That's true,
and
yeah.
Peterborough fans who thought we were playing at Stadium MK next week.
Coventry fans who come early, Chesterfield who got... Yeah, it happens all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
AFC MK Dons fans who are preparing 100 years in advance.
Just getting ready for it all. Yeah. Okay, I mean, atmosphere generally...
Yeah, I thought it was quite good, actually.
I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I was pretty disappointed with them.
I was expecting more. I mean, not more people. I was expecting more volume. Certainly,
Yeah.
I was rather disappointed with that.
In fairness, I was literally right next to the drum. So if it was a poor atmosphere, then when you've got a drum being, belted right into your eardrums, and
I've got to say, at times I thought they were quite loud, but it was only at times.
At times,
there was
yeah.
no, like the first game, it was a constant war, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely not.
Nothing this
Definitely
time,
not.
no.
I think they were more focused on other things. Let's say, such as trying to become a home fan and sit in the home end,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
attacking stewards.
Yeah.
Stealing toilets.
I don't know why people would be a steward in the way end. I don't know what would possess you to want to do that. Because last night that can't have been fun.
No, I don't think so.
Particularly for the ones at the front trying to keep them off the pitch. There were very regular fisticuffs, and for the 40p an hour, whatever they get.
fair,
for it.
I think there is one steward who got his worth.
Yeah, for me, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Moment of the match?
Moment of the game,
Yeah.
definitely. Don't know if anybody else out there saw this, but the pitch invasion. I mean, let's talk about that first before we go on to
What is
my
the
favourite moment.
point? Really, what was the point?
A pitch invasion when you get your consolation goal.
Yeah.
Deep
Yeah.
into injury time.
Yeah.
Was that 10 seconds of fame really worth the 3-year banning order that's now going to follow for those that have been either arrested, ejected, or will be caught after the CCTV images have been looked at?
Yeah. And bluntly, we've got a fairly good record at tracking people down and
Well, like I
doing
said
the
to you,
banning order thing.
After the incident with my daughter, where she was pushed off the seat by overzealous stewards and
Yeah.
injured, we were lucky enough to go up into the control room and looking round on the cameras, we were zooming in on people we knew, and I said to several people, I could tell that you didn't shave. The images are that clear.
You know he can't shave
from
yet.
anyone. It wasn't licked by the cat then, let's put it that way. But they're so clear that if we really want to, then we can catch it when we need. So,
But
worth it.
we
Anyway, back to-
moving on. We have now christened a new hog.
We have Hog Day too.
We do.
Day too.
We don't just have Hog Day, we have Hog Day too. That's like Hog Many.
many,
That's spontaneous, that is. That's wit. My word.
Yeah, I must just say that Albs did actually say last week as we walked away from the studio that he would love it in the game last night if somebody scored another one of those or dinged one in off the elbow or something. And the very first goal...
It was pretty much half quite sarcastic and... You know,
Throwaway comment.
It was we haven't had a goal off the heel since that game.
It's getting boring
It's too predictable when you know you're going to score a freakish goal off your heel against AFC
them,
Wimbledon. Sorry, Kingston. I can't believe I called them by their name. That doesn't happen very often, does it?
No. Anyway, back to the moment of the game that we said about. A fan entered the field of play from the East Stand. We know now that this was an AFC fan because he went to go and join his friends and did a full circle right in front of the away stand, coming back to the East Stands to goad. And just like Terminator spots his prey, the steward stood, and on the apex of the corner, this arc of the circle, this gentleman was running, completely and utterly clotheslined him. Moment of the game for me, and
it wasn't even during the game.
Earned his money, hands down.
Excellent, man.
But it was superb on the field, footballing wise. We didn't really give them anything to do. Defensive wise, Dave Martin never got tested. He was left with pretty much nothing. They did have a few chances, but
I would say once in a 3-minute period in the first half that there was a time where there was a worry.
Yeah, I suppose, but I think I wouldn't even really say that chance was testing him because he's had much worse to do, easier as well before. Like he's had chances that are much more difficult that he's easily saved in the past, and I don't think that was much. I think we're incredibly kind if we're giving them that as a chance. But,
I would say, was anybody else in there having palpitations last night every time they came forward and it was 2-0?
Just a bit. I won't lie.
Yeah.
It took that third goal for me to celebrate properly, I must say. But yeah, it was very good, and I was really hoping at the end when they got the penalty, there was part of me that was going good because I would love David Martin to save this. That would be icing on top of the cake. Unfortunately, he didn't, but.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with him. Rubbish keeper.
Yeah. Should have played Ian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd been good, wouldn't it?
It was one of those. I mean, they had that chance in the first minute or third minute or whatever it was, which that kind of made it feel like it was going to go all right. When they didn't take advantage of that, because that just kind of set the scene, and I was feeling rather. I just felt like it was clear we were going to be all right.
But we took our goals well. I thought
they were. Yep.
Bennick's goal, because I'm so used to seeing Jabo Ibire run one-on-one with the goalkeeper and put it wide.
And trip over his own head or whatever,
It was 18 months without having that image coming towards me of Jabo Ibire running towards the goal and putting it wide, and I didn't even think it was going to go in.
Let's be honest, Daniel was calm about his as well, wasn't he?
Oh, that was a quality goal. You have to look back at it to appreciate how good a goal it was. The goalkeeper just... completely outdone.
Brilliant. Completely wrong-footed, and it was so well taken. We were watching Robbo at the time.
See, the goalkeeper pretty much, if you look at the replays, he pretty much sort of, when the goal went in, put his hands up and said, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah.
And, when a goalkeeper just accepts that he's conceded a very good goal, then you know it was a great finish.
Very good goal, yeah.
And I'm glad for anybody it was Daniel Powell as well.
Yeah. Robbo, he was talking about him on the radio last night, I don't know if you heard him, but he basically said, he actually pretty much said Marmite. He said he either tends to have a fantastic game or a less than fantastic game, and he does things like that, and when he does it, it's just like, my God, how fantastic is that?
I wish it'd turn up, and I would echo what Carl Robinson said yesterday, because when he does play well, he is unplayable. I think he's fantastic. Like the game against Oldham a couple of years ago, we literally tore him to shreds and single-handedly pretty much guided us to a 5-0 win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I know the potential's there, and it wasn't just a one-off because he's proven that sort of performance before, and I just hope that a goal like that, a big goal, and maybe a goal on Saturday against the other lot,
Posh, that'll settle in a bit, yeah.
Maybe that'll kick him on this season, and we can forget that last season ever happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I think we need to think about moving on a little bit. If there's anything else that we desperately need to flag up, then we'll do it in a little bit. But for now, I need to play this.
MK Flyers Online, the fast and simple way to find any kind of business or service locally. Find us at mkflyersonline.co.uk or download the MK Flyers mobile app from your app store. MK Flyers Online proudly supports Seclo Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
The Shuttleworth Collection presents the tribute concert with classic hits from ABBA, Queen, Robbie Williams, Tina Turner, and many more. Advance tickets £25. Available from shuttleworth.org/tickets. Book for 10 or more for a 10% online discount. The tribute concert, Sunday, August 17 at the Shuttleworth Collection, Old Warden, Bedfordshire.
3-1. Can someone tell us what's coming up next, please?
I can. Coming up in the next Widdly bit or two, we've got Where's Robbo going this week? Old Bootsy's Guide to Being a Proper Fan is back. What's on top of Daniel Powell's boots? A goal in the win that was 3-1.
3-1, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll also take a look at this Saturday's trip to Posh.
Posh.
As it's more commonly called nowadays.
I'm familiar with their works. Okay, grand one. Thanks very much. It must be this.
This just in. Simon from London has sent an open letter to all of you wonderful, wonderful people. And the letter reads thus. The time has come for reconciliation between us. I will not persecute you no more. We are united in our love of football, and there's more that brings us together than should be allowed to keep us apart. I hereby declare my love for the good people of Milton Keynes Dons, and will defend your honour whenever it's challenged. I've grown to love you all as brothers. I hope you can forgive me for my sins against you. From here on in, I would like to be known as Paul. Thank you. More on this when we've checked our history books, because this all sounds rather familiar.
Grand one. Okay, look, my wife has texted in again to say, seriously, on my birthday, you said you were going out to pick up my present. Neil from Kingston's texted in to say, oh God, not again. Adeboye from Kingston has texted in to ask if we've got any chips left, as he's eaten all of his and the rest of the squad's. Tubbs from Kingston has tweeted in to ask if anyone else finds it ironic that he's the one called Tubbs. That's hashtag fat and ironic. Carl from MK1 has tweeted in to say, this is getting a bit easy to be honest. Can we play someone difficult next, please? That's hashtag bring on Posh. Okay, we've got a short while left. Modest, can you tell the boys and girls how they can get in touch?
In the next very short while, you can contact us by trying to work out how hypocritical it would be to attend a football match twice. Or alternatively, we're at Facebook, facebook.com/MooCamp. On Twitter, using the hashtag the MooCamp. You can email us at radio@moocamp.com. You all text direct to the studio on 07848 930 396.
Grandman, thanks very much. Okay.
Time to tell, time to speak. Tell us where Robbo's going this week.
Oh, so this is the point.
We were pointing at you for a reason. That kind of means it's your bit now.
This is the point of the show where nobody knows which bit it is. But we also have a weekly roundup of different places that Robbo is reportedly leaving us for. This week it's been rumoured that Carl might be talking to Huddersfield Town following the surprise sacking or mutual consent departure of Mark Robbins, and the unfulfilled position as Joe Aylett's pitch roller is still up for discussion, but we have it on some authority that the bog snorkelling track preparation team from Cumbria are interested in fielding an offer, as their last dredged equipment has this week unfortunately broken down. A deal for a peat moving amount is expected to break sometime this week.
I'm going off piste for a second. Darren Potter and the Deathly Hellos, in which Darren Potter says hello to people and they die. This week, Anthony Perkins.
Hello?
Darren, say hello.
Hello, you're going to die, die, die!
Now, is that not the slickest thing we've ever done? That has potential, I promise you. We're going to do something with that. Okay,
right.
right.
We'll have to worry about the third series.
Yeah, absolutely. It's out of the can.
Old Boots' Guide, 3-1.
Pretend you don't care and go 2 goals down. Bang in 4 more and turn game around.
Old Bootsie's rules to being a proper fan is available from no good bookstores, priced at £9.97.
Amend the next bit, but that'll do. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, look, like you, we've often wondered what exactly is on top of Daniel Powell's boots that keeps his eyes glued to the top of them. So we've sent out our spies, and we have it on the highest authority that for the AFC Kingston match, Daniel had a picture of Justin Bieber being worried by a sheep. Who'd have thought it? Okay, listen, we are about 3 minutes away from the end of the show. Or before, when we need to play the music to get to the end of the show. So let's just pick out a couple of quick things. Posh at the weekend.
And?
No hand, I'm afraid.
No hand?
No hand.
Oh, word, what
Black
a terrible
tie,
show. Okay. Hand from me, definitely. What are we expecting?
I'm expecting
a win.
3-1.
Fair enough, can't argue with that. Okay.
No, I'm expecting a very good game, and considering how much of a test we gave them at their place last season, when I think we had nowhere near as good a team, and this year I don't think they've got anywhere near as good a team, but we've got a better team, I'm expecting something. I can't quite put a finger on it because I don't like predicting, but I'm expecting something. I can pretty much. I was wondering
Have you ever considered doing this for a living?
I was wondering when you were going to laugh. No, I'm expecting a win. Personally, 2-1.
Okay, grand.
I wouldn't mind a last minute Heal of God or something. You know, that'd be cool.
That'd be kind of handy. 3-1, Hail of God. 2, Demi-semi. Demi-semi, yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's one of those where you know what's going to happen at some point fairly soon. We're going to have a tough match. And when we have a tough match, everyone's going to get really cross and all those sorts of things. But in reality, I think we're just kind of, we're on a roll. If we could get a result from them, we're going to be starting. We're going to be moving in the right direction. I'm going to be happy.
People might start to believe.
I think the good thing about playing somebody like Peterborough so early on in the season is the chance to beat them on their territory where they're pretty solid at home and say, we're up for it this season. We're here.
Yeah,
and that'll be good that finally people can start, taking us seriously.
Yeah,
of course we are getting on the back of a defeat away to Portsmouth, so there might be that still ringing in their ears from the dressing room, should we say?
It's true. They haven't bought anyone to replace Summer, have they?
Not as far as I know.
No, cool. Okay,
which is quite a good time, really.
Well, yeah, I'm rather happy about that.
Yeah, he done quite well against us last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at the people who we struggled with last time, it was him and what's the really annoying bloke? He's gone as
Tomlin.
well. Tomlin. Yeah, God, I hate that bloke.
He's an horrible one.
God, I hate him.
He's a horrible one.
Okie dokie. It's probably time to start thinking about wrapping up then. Roundabout of the week, just quickly.
It was.
Thanks. Okay, that's excellent. We'll did you get it? That's the question. Did everyone get that one right? Thank you very much for listening to the show. Tell your friends, etc., because it's so depressing looking at this and realising no one's listening.
Not even the person that said he was going to definitely listen tonight is the thing he's been looking forward to.
Look, the show, it was recorded live by us and listened to by you, which is probably the way it was supposed to be. Inspiration for this one was provided this week by 1,132 hypocrites from Kingston. 7 goals in 2 games, the Heel of God 2, and a big, fat striker. So, love and hugs. I'm just going to leave by saying this is the Smiths.
On their hands a dead star, the sycophantic sound check. You had no real way of knowing in my heart. I beg, take me with you. I don't care where you're going, but to you I was faceless, I was fawning, I was boring, a child from those ugly new houses who could never begin to know, who could never really know. The need, slip them into different sleeves, buy both and feel deceived, climb a new entry, re-entry, world tour, media hall, please the press in Belgium, this was your life, and when it fails to recoup, well maybe, you just haven't earned it yet, baby. I walked a pace behind you at the sound check. You're just the same as I am. What makes most people feel happy leads us headlong into harm. So in my bedroom, in those ugly new houses, I dance my legs down to the knees. But me and my true love will never meet again. At the record company meeting, on their hands at last a dead star, but they can never taint you in my eyes. They can never touch you now. No, they cannot hurt you, my darling. They cannot touch you now. Me and my true love will never meet again.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture, and much more to 66,000 readers every month. Plus news, views, and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse, and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk. MK Pulse and Seclo Sounds, the heart and soul of the city.